I'm Suzanne McNeill with Design Originals, and today I want to show you something I'm so excited about. It's like designing your own fabric, but I'm using the Zentangle ritual to put all these patterns right on my fabric. So let me start by showing you what I use. Oh, my little samples fell over here. Well, I of course like to test all my materials, so I tested different types of fabric markers: Yasutomo, Sukaniko, Zig, Jacquard tea juice, and the Pentel gel pen, and even a Sharpie. So I wanted to wash all these in my washing machine just to see how vibrant the blacks were. Over here I tested a micron, and here is the Pentel gel roller again, and it really is blacker. So let me just start, and you know, I always like to have one of my Zentangle books. These are both designed for fabric, and inside each of these books, lots of great patterns and also samples of some of the Zentangle patterns that you can draw. So these are always a great aid to me. So let me just show you how I worked on my apron. I purchased this apron pre-made at the store, and these come in white or muslin. This is a fabric that's sort of like a lightweight white denim or a lightweight canvas, and I found that the Pentel gel pen for fabric actually works wonderful on this fabric that has a little bit of tooth. So let me just start. And I'll start with a little simple pattern, run right up the leaf to this tulip. Now I just sat for most of this apron and worked on a little lap board in front of my television. I could prop my feet up on the table and just enjoy doodling. Zentangle is something that you never want to be in a hurry to do. It's something that you want to really just sit down and relax and enjoy the process. So much fun to put the patterns all over. And then on this side, I would just simply repeat that same pattern. On this side, I actually have a little wider spaces on my leaf, so sometimes I can come in and put more than one circle in that area. So that gives your pattern some variety. Here I could only have room for half a circle. So I just continue working this manner all over the apron. Then if I want to add shading, there are actually gray markers designed for fabric. So you can see what fun it was. Look at this flower. I worked a different pattern in every petal around here. All those patterns came right out of the books. So let me show you another piece that I'm working on. This is a quilt block. So I'm going to make a quilt block, and so I found on the smoother fabrics like muslin that actually a softer pinpoint like a micron or a tea juice marker actually worked better than the gel roller. The gel roller worked perfect on the fabric with a little bit of tooth on it. But I found for the smoother fabrics, I'm not really following what's underneath. I'm just want to create a frame, and then I want to divide that into some sections, just simple sections. This could even have a loop in it. And now I'm going to take each one of these sections, and for Zentangle you put a different pattern in each section. The process of Zentangle was actually developed by Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. And Maria has such a wonderful attitude and really enjoys focusing on her artwork. One day she was illuminating some alphabet letters, sort of like in the old Bibles with little patterns all around them. When Rick came into her studio, it took her a while to realize he was there. And Rick used to be a monk in India for 17 years, and he's like, "Well, Maria, that is so interesting. You were almost like in a meditative Zen trance when you were doing those little patterns. Maybe other people would like to learn to relax and focus in the same manner. So they started developing Zentangle. It's perfect for people who have never drawn before. And it's a wonderful aid for graphic artists to add patterns to their artwork also. So you can see how simple it was to create this pattern. And over here I'm going to put something else in this pattern. So this time I'm going to draw these little swirls. I'm just going to keep drawing, sort of like little nautilus shells. Just keep repeating that all over the space. Now on this one I happen to be using a Sakura Micron pen. These pens have a very soft tip, so you always want to draw with a light touch. And the more, it's not a ballpoint. A ballpoint you would use at an angle, but with a micron it's better to hold the tip up. That way the ink can flow from all of the sides or right from the bottom tip. So I'm going to continue filling this space with these swirls. Well, the books are so wonderful. They actually have all types of patterns, over 400 patterns in all the books. Or Rick and Maria actually teach classes for certification for people to teach Zentangle. And their website is zentangle.com. And now here are some smaller spaces. So on those I'm just going to choose to put little tiny circles, and that will give that a lot of variety. And on my blog every week there's a free tangle at the bottom of my blog. So you can, in a whole year, you can learn 52 different patterns. It's wonderful to collect these patterns. Well, I think you get the idea, and I want to show you how to finish this, so I'm going to skip on to the next step now. So now I would take my fabric piece that was finished. Every time it turns out just a little bit different because you're creating an original pattern. Now I've pre-prepared this, but you can see that my fabric piece will fit right in this space. And I took and drew some lines out so I could divide it into those string sections. And now you can see that I've cut pieces. Now these pieces all have iron-on Steam-A-Seam 2 on the back of them. That way I just position them in place, create a nice frame. I chose the black and white fabrics because I wanted to create the look of Zentangle and complement my center. So you'd line those up until they overlap just a little bit. I cut each piece just a little large, and they'll all overlap, and then all I have to do is pull the Steam-A-Seam paper off the back of each piece and iron them right down. And then my next piece, here is this one, it's all ironed down. Now I'm going to take my black masking tape, my black bias tape that I purchased, and I can just line this up right over that joint and top stitch that down. And when I do that, then I have a beautiful piece that looks like Zentangle, has a hand-drawn Zentangle piece in the center, and then Zentangle type patterns around the edge. This could be a wall hanging or a pillow top. So I hope you're going to enjoy working with Zentangle. It's a wonderful process. So interesting to do, and you create beautiful artwork while you're relaxing at the same time.